All right, so thanks for coming out today. I'm deeply honored. Thank you, Heather, for inviting me. And when I was getting prepared, when Heather asked me to talk to the chapter, I thought, what am I going to talk about, right? My experiences, what I think of the golf swing, and so I put a presentation together that no matter what your position at the facility, whether you're a director of golf, general manager, head golf professional, assistant professional, you'll be able to take something away from this and take back to your facility and implement. So without further ado, what I want to be talking about is a little bit about my background. Heather did a pretty good job going over that, so we'll breeze through that real fast. I'm going to be talking about the Gray Oaks Performance Center, youth player development best practices, and also, too, Breaking 100 and the business impact of Breaking 100. How many lessons people will take with the right programming, how much golf they play after taking lessons, and how much money they spend at your facility. So those are some of my qualifications. I've been, again, when I was teaching up in Atlanta, I was a head pro at Golf Club of Georgia. My main responsibility was being a head golf professional, who's on our tee sheet and how fast are they playing. And I taught a little bit. When I came back down to Naples 16 years ago, and I'm teaching this demographic, man, I need more tools. I need to go learn some more stuff. So I went through all the TPI, golf machine. You can see there's a long list of stuff there. One of the things that I'm really proud of what I just recently done, and I encourage you all to do this, was the PGA Hope Certified Golf Coaching Program. My parents served in the military, and my brothers, and I didn't, so this is my way of serving back. So I look forward to doing this, and Heather, you were a motivation behind me doing that. Also, with our demographic that we teach in South Florida, the TPI stuff is great. Also, Gray Institute has given me a lot of tools to be very successful for our team at Gray Oaks. Yep, there's my awards. I'm very honored to, again, we all work hard. I fill out those forms, and I'm very humbled and that I win those awards, and I'm very honored. So thank you, PGA. There's our Golf Performance Center. You can see we have 4 bays there. We opened that in 2015. Lower left-hand corner there, you can see the new pergola area, which I'm going to talk a little bit about. That is our new in-range performance. That is more of an entertainment center next to our teaching center at Gray Oaks. Behind the building there, you can see a new renovated green with a bunker. We just had that renovated recently. Andrew Green, who just redid our Pine Golf Course, I guess that was a bonus, right, Leslie? That was free, $15 million. So we got a new practice area. So we upgraded our short game area. Gray Oaks, there's our performance center. So we have 4 indoor bays, 24 outdoor bays. So we have 24 spots where people can go practice outside, log into their in-range. In-range is very similar to your top tracers and your TrackMan ranges. This is a new trend in golf instruction. So our members can go log in on any mat and get their ball data. State-of-the-art player technology with equipment and services, radar technology, V1 coaching software, TrackMan, flight scope, launch monitors, 2 pitching greens and a chipping green and a bunker short game area. In our performance center, we have a club fitting room. You can see our master fitter, top left-hand corner there, or top right-hand corner there, Mike Vanover with Mira Hale, our membership, one of our marketing directors. There's, again, Mike Vanover doing in the club room there. And there we are in his bay with me looking at TrackMan. When we opened that 2015, Mike and I were doing all this stuff outside. I was teaching outside with tents, pop-up tents. Mike was fitting outside, and he would have to bring all that stuff out daily to fit. Now we have a nice little room. I suggest that if you ever have one of these, build a wall like that. It's pretty impressive. And we work in a toy store. Hitting bays, short game area, long distance wedge area. There's more. You can see Mike's room. If that's he's got the club wall built. Also, he's got every freaking bag full of demos for our membership. There's our putting green short game area, and then there's our newly turf hound mats for our members to practice using their in range. When they're using the in range and top tracer and TrackMan ranges, they have to stay in a they call it a geofence. They have to stay in that area to get their ball data. In range, there's our pergola area. There's some members. We have 2 bays out there. You can see the TVs. So when we're doing events, We just did an event last night with, I think, 25 ladies, 20, yeah. So we're all under the pergola area. We can do bay versus bay, 8 versus 8, and everybody can see the leaderboard on the TVs. We've done some parties with this also, and during the parties, people are asking about getting a golf tournament on or a baseball game, Final Four. We were able to watch that on the TVs and kind of create more of a sports bar theme. It's about this much instruction and this much entertainment. In range, that just tells you a little bit, again, very familiar with Top Tracer and TrackMan. We've got 4 radars out there, 1 on the building, 2 on the range, and 1 behind the cart path. 4 radars tracking every golf ball. Whether the members are logged in or not, it's tracking every golf ball hit. There's just some of the samples of the practice and entertainment. Very little instruction, but more practice and entertainment for our members. So this was something, when we introduced InRange, it was going to be, again, it's an amenity. Members aren't paying for this. We weren't looking at revenue, just an added amenity. So we did these events, 14 events with an average of 16 people, 224 golfers. Average was $30 per person spent on food and alcohol. We also did these events where the instructors run the events. Our members don't know how to run InRange or Top Tracer, so we run the events for them and just do gaming. Very few swing tips, more gaming and entertainment. Sports bar theme, we had the grill on, we had the alcohol bar open. People were loving this. We were doing parties from 4 to 6, and we only did 14 of them. This wasn't something that we really went after. This was just a nice little extra. After looking at the numbers there, we're looking at that a little bit differently now. We're like, you know what? These were very well received. Members loved it. We'll probably be doubling it or tripling it next season. This will now be a big moneymaker for us. So average balls hit on the back of the range. You can now track how many golf balls are hit on your range. 125,000 golf balls in range tracked. Okay? Average of in-range balls tracked was 32%. That means 32% of the time people were practicing back there. So they're warming up for their golf round, but they're also spending time back there practicing. You can also, if you visit our facility, and our instructors can obviously attest to this, we have more people practice on the back of the range on the mats than we have on the front end. The front end, they're warming up to go to the golf course. The back end, they're there for practice. They're there for lessons, club fitting, and later in the evening, they're there for entertainment. Active member accounts used at least once in the last year. 680 member accounts used at least once in the last year. So that's a trend in golf instruction where we're starting to see these InRange. We were the second facility to open it up. TrackMan's getting leverage, and also Top Tracer. I believe they have it at Bonita Bay. These are great systems. We went with InRange. Our general manager liked the presentation at Boca West. Boca West had the first one. He liked the presentation. He bought it without us knowing it. We were checking out TrackMan and Top Tracer, and it's like, we just bought InRange. Great, we didn't even know about it. But we're glad we did. It came into a nice little profit center for us. So the cost of our performance center, that building cost $800,000. The technology in that building was $200,000. Now that's just for the building and the technology, $1 million, 4 bays. All right. Now, the hidden costs are we had to extend our range. I don't know what that cost, but we were also going to be going through a range renovation and some golf course renovations, so that was kind of lumped into that. So I don't know the cost of that, but if you don't have any range renovations that you're doing, you have the room, you have no hidden cost. There's the price of a building. You don't need 4 bays at your facility. You can go 2 or 1, but I suggest if you do have a bay, you want to build one of these buildings, make one designated for club fitting only. So why build a performance center? We've had a lot of people tour the facility that are local, also nationally, down in the winter when pros are down visiting their members at their southern homes, and they tour the facility. And they're looking at building these. And one of the things they always told me was their board or their membership says it's only going to benefit you. It's only going to benefit the director of instruction. It's only going to benefit the teachers. Why should we do it? I go, that's a pretty good argument. So I'm going to give you the data to prove them. So revenue before and after benefits the club. Here's the proof: increased revenue over time. Our building opened in 2015. Our average club sales were 216,000. Our average lessons combined were 223. Combined revenue was $440,000. After the building was built, combined income, combined revenue, 652,000. 2016, 738. You can see it climb in 2017. 2018, we broke $1 million. 2019, we did it again. 2020, COVID hit. We reached 990,000. We were closed for 2 big months in our season. All of March, all of April, and a little bit into May. We had members staying, all right, but golf was weird. We weren't really sure how we were going to do lessons indoors. We all went through that. Thank God it's over. But that was a significant loss in revenue for our facility, and we still produced. We made a little bit of that up, but you never really make up. They were here in the summer, but you never really make up for those 2 big months. 2021, everybody was stuck in Florida. We wish they left. They couldn't leave. We benefited 1.3. We were rocking and rolling. 2022, man, they were still here. They didn't want to leave. Florida was open. Everything else was still closed. We did it again, 1.3 again. 2023, thank God they left. So we had a great year. We did 1.2, we did over 1.2, but this past summer, 2023, they finally left. It was the summer of travel. Thank God, we were burned out. We had the 2-year season, right, Larry? I mean, it was great, but man, we were tired, and they left. So the travel that our demographic takes, they travel year-round. They didn't cancel those trips. They just postponed them. So they traveled, and then they traveled throughout our season, we're noticing. They're still traveling this summer. So that's eventually going to kind of plateau at some point, but you can see right there, everyone's...
Quick question, what's the ratio? Is it still consistently almost 50-50 with club sales to...
I'm going to go, that's next slide. Okay. Yep, yes, sir. All right, great question. So I'm going to break that up a little bit on our next slide. There's our lesson income. That's every instructor. That includes schools, clinics, camps, junior camps, individual lessons, any celebrity camp we did, celebrity golf school we did. That's everything, gross. You can see before the building was averaging 223. After the building was 2015. And you can see each year it significantly climbed until, again, 2020, we lost 2 big months. After that, you can see it climbed up, and we're stabilizing at $500,000 a year. Mike Vanover is a rock star. That's our master club fitter. This guy is so passionate, FGCU grad, right, Marty? Yep. This guy has a passion for club fitting. He's also a fabulous teacher. He's a fabulous person. Very quiet, does his job. I'm very biased, but I think he's the best in the industry. I love working with this guy. Yeah, Larry, love this guy. Leslie, again, can I see another hand? So again, if you haven't had the pleasure, if you know Mike, you have the pleasure of knowing Mike. If you haven't met him, meet him. Yes, sir.
How many golf professionals have come to Mike in the area and even outside of the area for a fitting?
Raise your hand in here if you've seen Mike Vanover for a fitting. Couple of people, all right? All right, everyone else is on vacation or playing in a tournament. But anyways, Mike's a wonderful fitter, very, very nice partner in my deal. And you can see he's very passionate. And if you have a club fitter, I think it's very hard to teach full-time and also fit full-time and be a master at it. Mike is first a fitter. He's a wonderful teacher, but his priority is fitting, and you obviously by those numbers you can see he does really well. All right, for the facility producing revenue. So we've got that revenue up there to $760,000 now. In 2024, we're estimated to do it again. So the benefits of a performance center: intimate setting for private instruction, more technology with cameras and ball launch monitors, more productive within an hour golf instruction. Immediate feedback with the technology. Within every lesson, you can show swing analysis with video and ball launch data. You can show swing fixes with video and ball launch data, also show drills for future practice, record everything, and send the student a lesson plan within an hour. When we used to do that outside, that would take 2 hours. You had the TrackMan data, you're looking at that under a tent. Now you're filming on a Casio camera, downloading that to your laptop or your phone. And the problem with the phones are great, but the golf shaft's a little bit of a blur. When you look at it face on, down the line you can see it, but if I'm outside, I still use that old Casio camera. I download that to my V1 desktop. And obviously the cameras inside, we just upgraded 2 of our bays. We have V1. V1 is very user-friendly. There's other systems out there that are good. We're just more comfortable with V1. Again, we've used it for years and we're not changing. We just updated the cameras to HD in 2 of our bays. So again, very easy, and you can be very productive in 1 hour versus being outside. The club fitting is easier. Like I said, you walk in the room, you turn the lights on, you're ready to go. Mike turns on the lights, turns on his TrackMan. There's the cameras ready to go within 5 minutes. Before, we used to have to bring everything out. That took hours. Then you have to set it. Then you have to, again, get organized. And by the way, when we were outside and everybody's sharing that equipment, it was a mess. We gave it to Mike. Mike, you own it. It's your toolbox. He can go in his toolbox with his eyes closed. He goes into that room. He can literally pull a shaft off the wall with his eyes closed. He knows exactly where everything's at. He owns it. If you're going to have multiple fitters, you better be really organized. No setup or no breakdown of equipment anytime now. So you never have to cancel lessons due to rain or darkness. Typically, this has never been a problem in season. Well, this season, last December and January, we had record rainfall. We never canceled. And you reschedule that. And so you never make that day up. Rescheduling is never a make-up day. You never get that revenue back. So I looked at it, potential revenue loss with 1 rain day in season is potentially $5,000 in revenue with club fitting, lessons, and club sales. You make that up, you reschedule it, but you never get that day back. So this season, we probably had, I think, up to 30 days of inclement weather. Pretty bad. We didn't reschedule, we were open. Matter of fact, golf course was closed. We did more lessons and more fittings because the bays were open, golf courses were closed. Unheard of closing a golf course in January. Well, the weather patterns, obviously, it's hotter in the summer, it's wetter in the winters, who knows what we're going to get anymore. Believe what you believe, but the weather is the weather, and so we never have to cancel or reschedule due to inclement weather. Also, a proponent group study. I'm a member of proponent group. Who's familiar with proponent group? If you're, let me see a hand of instructors. Raise your hand. You need to be familiar with proponent group. Lauren Anderson does a wonderful job with proponent group. There's a lot of research now. A lot of instructors helping instructors, giving data like this to help us approach our membership on our board to get performance centers, to help get raises. Lauren Anderson does a wonderful job. His wife is Charlotte Anderson, who teaches at the Mike Bender Golf Academy. World-class teacher, a world-class person. So I suggest to everybody, if you're a teacher specifically, check that out. Proponent group study. Everybody that has opened a performance center, their teaching in 2 years, in their first 2 years, increased 24%, and their club fitting increased to 34%. So now you saw the revenue that we do with club fitting, you saw the revenue that we do with lessons, the groups, the clinics, the player development, and the junior golf. And here's some of the best practices for junior golf. So I think I got a little video to show you, just kind of give you an idea of some camps we've done. Yep. So that's the back of our range right next to the Performance Center. He's okay. He didn't break his neck. Looks like fun, doesn't it? Chip Beck, Mr. 59 right there. So that was one of our holiday camps. So we don't have, during the school year, we don't have a lot of juniors to do that every Saturday or in the summer. But during our holidays, we get a lot of grandkids. So as you know, I have two kids. They're 18 and 20 now, but I've been at Gray Oaks for 16 years, and I got the idea for stuff like this. Obviously, going through the TPI junior coach track, also becoming US Kids certified, and learning that player pathway. And if you're familiar with that, it's a very easy step. The player pathways 1 through 5 for beginner golfers. It's what I call our discovery phase. Introduces kids to golf, and the TPI junior coach track is athletes, making the kids also a well-rounded athlete. Who's gone through the TPI junior golf coach track? Can I see a show of hands? So again, if you have instructors and you're teaching junior golf, it's a very good certification to go through. Just opens your eyes to a lot more in junior development. And also too, I really encourage the US Kids Player Pathway. Along with, there's some other things out there, Operation 36. Also too, Richard Franklin with Discovery Golf does a wonderful job with the gaming. So again, my kids, I was involved in scouting, also junior golf, but I got the idea for a lot of this stuff with TPI, scouting, and just wanted to make the camps more fun and partnered with our fitness team. So we did the bounce house. Now, we didn't do that every day. That was like at the end of the week. But our normal day would start off with fitness, playing field hockey, dodgeball, then some golf, lunch, and then tennis afterwards. Last day of the camp, it was a bounce house celebration, relay races. I think the name for this, I think they called it, the kids were called, I think American Ninja Warrior was real popular. So this was like the American Ninja Warrior contest, right? And so they were trying to go through it as fast as you can, and you could see one kid landed like this, and we're all like, he got up and ran again, so he was fine. They're like sponges. So anyways, again, and in the summer, I had enough kids hanging out for one summer. It's like, hey, let's do a fun summer camp. So we did, it was hot every day. We're out on the golf course. We're in the swimming pool. The last day we did a beach camp at, I think it was Laley Barefoot Beach Club. It was awesome. Again, I had the fitness instructors out there, plenty of people to observe. Obviously, we're in the Gulf of Mexico, so a few worries there. You know, I'm a parent, so I worry. So I had plenty of supervision. If you're going to do anything like that, just make sure you have plenty of supervision. But you can see they were having plenty of fun. And the instructors love paddleboarding and bounce houses and floating islands on the Gulf of Mexico and lunch at Laley Barefoot Beach Club. And that's a pretty good camp, right? We had some parents wanting to go. So this talks a little bit about that. The ending is just the life skills that we want to teach the kids. is listening, appreciation, honesty, respect, courage, sportsmanship, and winning. There's more about what I look for in our junior golf is discovery phase, introducing kids, again, through the U.S. Kids Player Pathway, introducing them to golf with camps like that, and then getting them into the journey phase. And the journey phase is more into getting them ready for middle school golf, getting them ready for first tee, and also maybe getting them ready for their high school golf. The elite phase now, I started in the discovery phase, the journey phase. Now I've got about 8 kids I see weekly that are in this elite phase that are now playing junior golf tournaments in Florida and within the nation. So best practices, the junior holiday camps, you've seen that. PGA Junior League, this is something I encourage everybody to do. If you can't do this if there's not enough clubs within your city to do this, we did this in-house during COVID. And so this was very successful. So every week I had maybe 9 kids and we just changed the teams around. Kids had a lot of fun doing an in-house junior league. Saturday junior clinics, I'll show you a little video about that. But again, Saturday junior clinics are more of that discovery phase, not my elite kids. They're usually gone playing a tournament. So that Saturday junior clinic, we don't have a designated time. It's like, for example, I have a member that wants the same time every Saturday, and she's bringing her daughter, and it's open to bring as many friends as she wants. Sometimes it's just her daughter. Most times it's 4 or 5 friends. And we're having fun with the gaming. I'm going to give you a little clip of that. After school junior development, partnering, again, these elite kids are after school. They have their, if they're a guest, they're taking lessons from me. They're not working with our fitness center, but I encourage them to work with a trainer in town. I usually send them to Thor back there. Thor, I want commission. All right. Special needs programs. So this is something that throughout the years of teaching junior golf, you get kids. I have a child who's my older son is on the spectrum, and so I'm very familiar with it. And so I will have parents that will tell me, "Hey, my child is on the spectrum," and sometimes they don't have to tell me. I just know, and I just know that that's a different lesson. That's a different situation with that child. And so I'm glad for the Ernie Els, that certification. I kind of had a really good idea how to handle that, and with the Els, it just kind of confirmed what I knew, what I was already doing, confirmed what I was doing was correct. So if you work with kids with special needs, that's I think it's called Ernie Els Go Autism. So it's a really good one to check out. It's a really quick certification. It takes a couple hours. Social media. Now, I will always ask parents if it's okay. Parents, and I haven't had a problem with a parent, and when I ask them to post things about their children on social media, I post things to Instagram, which also goes right to Facebook. That's all I do, and I always ask for permission. I've never had a parent say no. I've had a parent say, just don't put my kid's name out there. It's like, no problem. So just be very careful if you're posting things with kids on social media. Again, I always like to promote drive, chip, and putt. We have, during our camps, we have a drive, chip, and putt theme. We're always going to make sure that we show them how to drive, show them how to chip, and show them how to have a putt. And each day we have one of those contests during our holiday camps. Also, we also have a family fun drive, chip, and putt contest now with our in-range pergola. So another great practice. Promote your junior tours. AJGA, I've got kids playing AJGA, US Kids, South Florida PGA Junior Tour, etc. Southwest Florida Junior Tour, Under Armour, Hurricane Tour. And if you're familiar, if you have a tour that I didn't mention, see me afterwards. Trust me, I'm going to promote your tour. I encourage kids, the elite golfers, to go out there and play as much as they can. Also, support your local schools at your facility. We haven't been able to do this in the past because of so many renovations. Now we have 2 courses open this summer. We're hoping to get back involved with supporting our community schools again. And support other academies, local and national. If I'm not doing it, I send them somewhere else. If I don't have a summer camp, I send them to Thor Parish, and Spencer do a great job at Quail Creek. Also, Tom O'Brien at Tiburon does summer camps all summer. And listen, if you're in this room and you're doing a summer camp, see me afterwards, let me know. I'll promote you too. We don't do a lot of it. A lot of our kids that are year-round in the summer, they take off. They're in Asia. They're in Europe. They're on another level. I mean, I was going to summer camp drinking water out of a hose. You know, now they're drinking their bottled water, and it's like, be careful of the color you put in it. Like, well, all right, whatever. It's different. All right. A couple of quick videos. This is one child. This kid came in. His brother is going to be one of my elite juniors. He wants to play competitive golf. His little brother right here can't stand it. But he's watching his brother hit, and I was like, why don't you get up there and try it? And we're playing this new game on TrackMan. So I'm very fortunate I've got this game indoors. I got the video equipment that you can see pictured there. I got the TrackMan pictured there. And I'm able to get all the ball data, but instantly I can change it to a gaming. And watch this kid's expression when he hits the cars and beats his brother. He hated that lesson. Now he wants to take a lesson with his brother every week. And then his dad goes, hey, he might want to be a competitive golfer too. So it's kind of funny how, you know, juniors just change their mind. This kid right here, this is just fun with junior golf. He just wants to play on a school team with his buddies. He'll never practice. He's not going to play golf. He just shows up for his Saturday lesson with Coach Bob and his brother. And this kid he's great. We just have a lot of fun together. We don't take it serious. And you're going to see something. He came in, he's like, Coach, and he was warming up, and I wasn't able to watch him warm up. He goes, my hip's hurting today. I go, well, I'm thinking, okay, TPI assessment, right? What's hurting, right? Why is he hurting, right? Well, watch this. It was so funny. We were bawling.
Are you okay, buddy? Are you sure? All right, you're not going to hit yourself again, are you?
He kept hitting himself in the hip. He's like, I'm not hitting myself. I go, yeah, you are. We just filmed it. His brother, who's older, is crying. I was like, he's been walking into walls at home, hasn't he? He goes, yep, he walks into walls, right? So he's just kind of like, he's growing up. He's that clumsy stage, right? But again, we just have a lot of fun with some of these kids. It's not all tournaments. It's all, it's a fun afternoon versus sitting at home playing video games. So now, again, back to that revenue. So you saw a big portion of the junior golf, how that contributes to the revenue. Now we're going to get into the player development best practices. So again, that's my hitting bay. There I am right over here on the right working with one of our members. I love teaching aids. I love K-Vest. I love it all. I try everything, all right? I'm throwing everything at these people trying to get them better, especially with our demographic. It's hard, right? So, but this is one of my better members, Mike Lopiano, and we're just working some K-Vest, trying to get his hips open a little bit more at impact, and working on a $2 2x4 right there just to give him some club face awareness. Top left-hand corner here, working with a little yellow swing guide, just to get the guy's hands hinging a little bit better. And there I am outside showing one of our members just how to use the in-range. This guy's a good player, Michael Rowe, right? Well, this guy can play. He's just wanting to know, hey, how do I use this in-range, and what's that ball data mean? So this was like just a free lesson, and I just gave him a tutorial on what to look for on in-range. There is Mike Bender Golf School. So Mike Bender, I went and took a lesson with Mike Bender over 10 years ago. Someone suggested it. I also heard Mike talk at a the National Teaching Conference in Orlando one year. And a lot of things Mike said kind of attracted to me. Like, I got to go see this guy because I like what he's saying. I like how he's speaking. So I'm a huge Mac O'Grady fan, and no one spent more time with Mac O'Grady than Mike Bender. So that was my draw. And since then, Mike and I have become buddies. I go up there, see him a couple times a year, hang out at his house, hang out at his academy. He's been a good friend to me, a very good mentor, and first-class coach, and my members love when Mike comes down. I think, by the way, Mike's got the most followers on Instagram for an individual instructor. So for an individual instructor, I think he might have the record for the most followers now. So there we are outside. Mike's going through his opening. And then what Mike likes to do is, again, we go outside, we film all the swings, then come inside here, lower left-hand corner. We're going over the film. Mike's at my desk doing his thing. And then over there, top right, Mike's talking about the golf swing. And then bottom right, you can see, Mike's got an example of a tour player, and one of our members, showing the difference between a chicken wing and where the shaft should exit. But again, this only makes your facility look better when you get these guys like Mike Bender, also too Mike Shannon. I think Adam, you had Mike Shannon at your facility. Mike is a first-class person, and the guys within the state are local. They'll drive instead of flying in, so it's a little cheaper, but still, it's worth the cost. And I don't make any money off this, but my members love this, and it's about adding, an excitement to my teaching center and creating some revenue for the club. And by the way, they just absolutely love it, and they'll follow up with lessons with you. So Mike's doing a little tempo training right there. I'll just play that quick video there. And Mike's, you can hear his accent. He's just a good old boy. Just easy to hang out with. Also, we did another school with also to Dr. Rob Neal. Again, first-class gentleman, very highly educated. This is some of the things I do in the hitting bay. Working on some speed training with the Mach 3. This is one of my members on the left here swinging one of the Mach 3 devices where it's a very heavy rope. And so what's new with TrackMan is that now you can do some speed training without hitting a golf ball. It's going to measure whatever you're swinging, okay? And it's going to measure low point of that object and give you the speed. So obviously this was something that was very heavy. It produced 65 miles. We get into some of the whippy sticks. He's generating club head speed of 135. Makes him feel pretty good. Yeah, you show somebody 135 club head speed, they're like, I got this. And he's one of my older, better golfers. He's like, 67. I go, here, swing this speed stick. 135. So again, the heavier the object, the slower it's going to be. The lighter the object, the faster. So gave us an idea like, hey, you're looking for 5 more yards club head speed. Why don't you go with a lighter shaft in your driver? He did. He got 5 more miles per hour club head speed. All right. This guy right here, again, using the TrackMan indoors, had a pool noodle there, trying to get him to shallow a little earlier. Practice with some feedback. Yeah, any 8-iron. So the best practices, again, the Get Golf Ready programming, break 100. So golfers breaking 100 start using the club more. This is a proponent group study, and I'm going to show you that report a little bit later, okay? Family fun golf. If the kids are playing golf, we want the parents playing golf and vice versa. Guest instructors, testing on TrackMan. So one of the things that, how do you know a player's getting better? You look at their handicap. Really? I go out and play with members and they rake each other 10-footers. That's good. So your handicap's going down, and then they play in a club championship and they can't break 90. So it's like, all right, so how do I test them? Well, a lot of the beginners, I use that U.S. Kids Player Pathway. Just do the short game contest with them, the short game test, the putting test. Very easy. Go out there. It takes 15 minutes to do it. And it's like, hey, look at what you did last week. Now look at what you're doing this week. You're improving. Oh, I didn't know that. They don't know if they're getting better sometimes. They don't know if they need to work on chipping or putting. So you've got to be that coach, and you've got to constantly remind them. And so I think the test, like the U.S. Kids Player Pathway, is very easy and gives them a little reality into their game. Play golf with new golfers. New golfers are so intimidated to get on the golf course. We have Leslie does a great job with our lady beginners, goes over all the rules, brings them together. They don't know anybody, makes them feel very comfortable, and gets them out on the golf course in the afternoon. Great program. Also, too, create a program using the technology, V1, if you're in a bay. OnForm is brand new out there, at least for me. I'm using OnForm. Easy recaps when I'm on the golf course. I don't have to use my camera anymore. I just use my phone. Upgrade your practice facilities. So I believe this was a Golf Life Navigator survey. And when they asked potential members what they're looking for at a club, one of it was practice facilities. 89%. 89% of potential members are looking at your practice facilities. Upgrade your practice facilities. We've done it twice. Celebrate successes, post things on Instagram, Facebook. Also, for director of golfs and GMs, hire, train, and incentivize. Make sure your instructors are getting out there doing things like this, learning, doing certifications, online. Most of it's online. I used to have to travel. Now you can do a lot of it online. Fairly expensive. Get the club to pay for it. I encourage the club to pay for it. If you can't, I've had to invest a lot of my own money, but the return on investment is very positive. So again, the more knowledge you have, the more toolbox, the more successful that you can be. Track the data. You got to track data. And before I go to that, track the data, track lesson takers, and I'm going to get into that. I'm going to summarize my ending on that too. But track the data. I'm lucky I have an IT director, David Benjamin, that helps me track all this data and gives me some really easy reports that I can show and understand. And partner with fitness. You've got, again, this demographic, we have got to keep these people on the golf course for 4 hours, being able to do full movement and have the energy for 4 hours and to come back and do it the next day. So highly encourage you. Every lesson taker we have at Gray Oaks works out in our fitness center. We're lucky we have a 30,000 square foot wellness center, but for that, we didn't have that. We were in the basement of the club, and then we were in the parking lot while we were upgrading our fitness center. So I highly encourage partnering with a fitness center, and if you don't have that at your club, there's plenty of fitness centers. Thor, another commission buddy, another partner with Thor. He'd love to help them out. Again, highly educated, highly experienced back there. So, how many lessons people take with the right programming, how much golf they play after taking lessons, and how much money they spend at your facilities. This is at my facility. Non-lesson takers, average spending is $3,800. Lesson takers at my facility is $9,400. 2.4 times more money at clubs than the average member. They take lessons, they're playing more golf, they're going to work out more, they're going to enjoy themselves, they're spending more money at your facility. 2,400 members, including members, spouses, dependents, and guests. 24%. That's only 24% of my members at my facility. I'm trying to double that. So we're challenged, like how do we get the rest to take lessons? How do we get them involved? And I think a little bit that's going to be the in range, the entertainment. Introduce them to that, get them into some instruction. We average over 1.2. So golfers who are improving spend more money on golf. Breaking 100, golfer for life. Shot euphoria. Golf passion level. Golfer breaking 100. So before they break 100, passion level's a 2. This was a National Golf Foundation study. Golfer breaking 100, passion level is a 7 out of 10. Golfer breaking 85, passion level is a 10. They're a nut. Okay? Folks, hope you enjoyed it. Any questions? Do we have time, Heather, for questions? All right. Yes, sir.
Quick question. Do you guys have your own independent POS system there at the Learning Center, or do you have to run everything through the shop?
It's through the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have, everything goes, the whole facility, wellness, performance center, everything is on one point of sale system.
Gotcha.
Yep. So it makes it very easy to track data using just one system.
Well,
Yeah, if you got two,
do you have like your own setup there where it's connected to the shop that you're bringing in all the member charges from right there?
yes. Yeah, we have something. Yeah, I mean, I think half our instructors ring stuff up in the shop.
Yeah.
You know, I ring it up back there because it's usually the end of the day and the shop's closed.
Right.
Yep. Yes, sir. Thor.
Managing your lesson books when they have to drive you back to the driving range. How do you operate with flow with that for your lessons?
Well, how do I manage my lesson book, the flow of the traffic?
Well, because you're at the back of the range, right? So
Yeah.
you're pretty far away. So how do you build in split times between your lessons? Do you go pick them up? Are they responsible for meeting you at the facility?
So we're at a private. Good question. We're at a private facility. They all know where to go. A lot of our lesson takers schedule the same time every week. It's pretty easy. We got plenty of parking in front of the center. The whole back end of the range has plenty of parking for probably 40 to 50 carts, and
Large percentage of them have their own cart.
a large percentage of them have their own cart. They love their schedules. They love their group play. It's the same time every week. They love their lesson. They love their fitness session. They wake up immediately. It's Monday. They know what to do. So we don't have a problem with traffic flow. Plenty of parking. Did that answer your question, Thor?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, sir. Hey, Adam.
What is your access as such? How much do they allow you to teach non-members of Grail?
So non-members. So the majority of my teaching is members. Members first. We don't advertise outside the street. We don't have a website. So we get a lot of member referrals that are guests. And so if they're a guest, this hasn't been an issue. There's enough instructors to provide services for the membership, and everyone's got a little time on their schedule to be open to a guest. If I start to get a little bit busy with guests, like Saturday, I may have 4 hours with guests in the afternoon. There's a clear understanding. Listen, if I have to do a member event or if I have a member that needs that lesson time, I have to reschedule. They understand that. We don't do a lot of it. We don't advertise it. We don't need to. Again, we're there for the members and there for the members and their guest. Hasn't been a problem. Yeah, good question though. You got to be. I'm a director of instruction. I teach a lot of. I'm teaching, averaging 7 hours a day, 6 days a week in season. Majority of that's going to be for the members. Members don't take lessons after 4 o'clock. They're getting ready for social hour. They don't take lessons on Sunday at all. We tried. And they're not big lesson takers on Saturday. Most of my instructors on Saturday are open. So again, private club, very social, a lot of partying, a lot of events are on the weekends. So they're gonna, they get their fitness. Our wellness team, no one works Saturdays and Sundays. It's Monday through Friday, and they're at 6 a.m. and they're done by noon. We start at 8 or 9. We're pretty much done with our members by 3. So the research shows, I get asked this question by my bosses. You know, are you available for the members? Yes, because historical data, again, data shows lesson takers at a private facility, at ours, mainly stop at 3, maybe 4, nothing past that. So yeah, I might have to teach, I might have to teach till 5, 6, or sometimes 7 o'clock, for a junior. That's a guest. I got no problem in that. Okay. Yes, sir.
Your club fitting revenue, do you have that broken down by manufacturer?
I don't right now, but Mike Vanover, and if you send, and it might take some time, but if you send Mike M. Vanover at grayoakcc.com, he can break that down for you. Give him a week. He actually, it's funny, Mike tracks data a lot. He could probably have it to you in 5 minutes. He's very aware of because we get asked by our bosses, what's PXG doing? What's Titleist doing? What's TaylorMade doing? And so we have everybody, and we have some of the smaller ones. Cobra, what is it, stick putters or something? We have some smaller off-brands that we do that they were just not producing enough. We may get rid of that. Just to focus maybe on, instead of selling that putter, why don't we just sell the Titleist version of it, the Scotty Cameron. So yeah, Mike looks at that all the time.
Bob, I had a related question. Do you have any feel for data on how often your members upgrade their equipment? Because I'm seeing those sales numbers, and I'm like, how often are
I think you look at the sales number. So we advertise club fitting more than instruction. And that's fine. There's not a problem with that. But we promote club. I mean, every instructor is promoting club fitting. Someone walks in with, come on, like Mrs. Haverkamp, come on. You got to get the new Exio so you get the ball in the air, right? So, you know, we're promoting, that's just part of our thing. You know, every instructor looks at the equipment like, oh God, you got to change that, right? So we're promoting it. The facility's promoting it. And most people get 2 sets. They don't want to travel anymore. They like their set here and they like their set up north. So I think that looking at those numbers, they're probably doing it. I think last time I had this conversation with Mike, I asked him about that data, every other year.
And do you think they're all doing it with you instead of their northern club because you're so good at it?
Not me, Mike.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Again, we're set up for success, though. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, having a room like that, a performance center, you know, if you're thinking about building that's a huge revenue for the club. And again, Mike's very efficient. He can do a full set in an hour versus being outside. And I mean, listen, if you're fitting outside and you're having to track everything out, you're probably not going to support every vendor. You're probably going to pull out a Callaway cart or a Titleist cart, and you're just going to be, or just one vendor. I'm a Titleist fitter and that's it. Well, people want Callaway, and Mike's not biased. He's on Callaway staff, but he sells just as much Titleist as he does Callaway. It might be more, I don't know. But not biased and very set up. He's set up for efficiency. Anybody else? Awesome. Hey, thanks, folks. Again, I'm very humbled. Thank you very much.